Hello, I'm MC2, the worst rapper in the world, coming to you today from a special secret bunker in the NASA headquarters. I hope you enjoy the backdrop here. I've got a special debate for you today with none other than Victor Croote. How you doing, Victor?
I'm all right. Cheers.
All right. So a couple things I want to start with first. Thank you to all of my channel members and patrons. I intend to have a little scroll thing on the bottom and stuff, but time got away from me when I was, moving into the bunker here. So let's see. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I know, Victor, you have a YouTube channel, and if you want, I'll put the link to your channel in the description so people can find where you're at.
No need.
What's that?
Okay. There's no need, really, because I don't upload videos.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, would you like to introduce a little bit about yourself, what you think about stuff, and nothing specifically like evidence for Earth shape or anything, but more just to introduce yourself so people know who you are.
Yeah, my name's Clive Victor Croote. Basically, I've worked out we've been lied to about the shape of where we are and our environment we're in. So just got basically questions about your models that you present and the way reality actually works. And there's like conflicting arguments in your own rhetoric that you put out to say that things aren't right.
I think it's maybe a little bit hard to hear you. It sounds like you're cutting out a little bit. So either can you speak louder or have your mic or your mouth closer to the microphone or something?
I've moved it a bit closer.
Yeah, then we just see your eyes and forehead, though. I guess that's fine if you want.
Well, I was going to say you can turn the camera off if you're not looking at my face if you want.
Whatever, okay. All right. So is that all you have? That now? Apparently, you've said in the past that you were in the military or something.
I trained up, yeah, and then I got honourable discharge and left.
Yeah. What did you do in the military?
Can't divulge.
You can't divulge. All right. Are there branches of the military in England there? Different branches? Can you say the branch you were in?
Well, worked for the TA basically. That's as much as I can say.
The teacher's assistant?
No, Territorial Army.
Oh, all right. All right. Were you ever been in this particular control room that I'm in right now?
I don't know. I don't know which control room you're in.
All right.
Which NASA place are you supposed to be at?
Oh, it's a secret bunker. I can't divulge. Yep. So, all right. Well, turns out the Earth is not flat, but you think so. So why don't you give us some evidence for the Earth being flat?
Well, state how your model is represented to us.
Well, Earth is a globe. It has a slightly shorter radius between the poles and slightly larger at the equator. It's been measured many times.
And how is it depicted to us sitting in our solar system?
It orbits the sun.
And what's it supposed to be orbiting around within?
The sun.
No. What's the Earth supposed to be orbiting around within?
I don't understand what you're saying there.
What
medium
is supposed to be surrounding this space ball?
Oh, a very low pressurized system. Is that what you meant?
Yes. Now, what does gas do in the natural environment?
it equalizes due to the forces acting upon it.
Yes, but gas expands in all directions freely. Unless a force is acting upon it.
Exactly, if a force is acting upon it.
And if in a vacuum, will do so instantaneously and violently. And that's from a PhD physicist.
Yeah, and at what speed does it do that? Just for reference.
Instantaneously.
Well, no, it doesn't. Matter doesn't move instantaneously.
When they've put bromine gas into a vacuum chamber and sealed it off from the vacuum, as soon as they turn that tap, the pressurization equalization is instantaneously. It fills the container instantly.
Yeah, it's not instant.
And it does it without entropy.
Hold on.
Taking effect
Matter doesn't move instantly. We don't have Star Trek. We don't have Star Trek teleporters here. It doesn't move instantaneously. What is the rate at which gases expand to equalize?
It does it within milliseconds.
Okay, there's an
Fast
actual
to track.
Oh no, it's not too fast to track. People have measured it. They know how quickly it does this. Do you
MIT
know?
MIT state that it does it instantaneously.
Well then, please do share your MIT saying it instantaneously does that, because it doesn't instantaneously. There is a speed at which it moves into the equilibrium that it's going to hit. Do you know? You don't appear to know. All right, I'll just tell you. It does it at the speed of sound. That's how quickly it does it. So it equalizes at the speed of sound.
So at roughly 1,000 miles per...
Roughly 700 miles per hour. Yeah.
That's at sea level.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so please continue.
Well, what stops the pressure equalization of the gas in the atmosphere leaving into the lower pressure, considering gas always expands into the lower pressure environment to equalize pressure?
Gas. No, that's not true. Gas responds to the forces acting upon it. All right. So, what stops it from equalizing upwards? Well, whatever you want to call the force that makes this fall is what makes the gas, which is also matter, not go
density, which is its own density. But gas expands freely in all directions and will move to the lower pressure system. It doesn't do this here.
It equalizes based on the forces applied to it.
Well, prove the downward force.
Proof is something that exists in 4 places. I last week I said 3, and since then, I used a new one that I had forgotten about. So 4 places that proof exists: pure math and logic, alcohol purity.
Maths doesn't prove anything.
No,
you cannot give me minus 5 apples.
Will you stop? Will you stop talking? Will you stop interrupting me, please? Hey, Victor, I wasn't done talking. Okay, so stop talking over me. Please stop talking over me. Okay.
Maths is a...
All right. I will speak, and I won't listen to your interruption. And then when I'm done, you'll get your chance to talk. Okay, so there's 4 places that proof exists. Pure math, and you clearly don't understand what pure math and logic is when I speak of that, but that means that 2 + 2 = 4. We can prove that. Alcohol purity is the second place where I know of that proof exists. Third place is in baking with yeast. If you use yeast to bake, then you need to prove your dough. You set it down in a warm place and let it expand. And the 4th place that proof exists, it is in pseudoscience, right? Science does not prove things. No scientist claims that it truly proves things. Sometimes people use the word prove in the common parlance, but they really do mean lots of evidence. So if you mean proof by lots of evidence, then absolutely we can talk about that. But if you're going to say proof is undeniable, uncounterable, then no, we can't do that in the real world. Go ahead.
Science purely only cares about the natural, well, the method, the scientific method. It only cares about cause and effect. It doesn't give a crap about anything else.
All right, well then please share your citation for that.
Science only cares about cause and effect. Anything other than that is pseudoscience.
I will gladly pull up the citation that you are using to claim.
I don't need to cite that.
Oh, you absolutely must, because you're claiming something outside of normal scientific understanding. So,
anything other than a cause of an effect is pseudoscience.
Please share your supporting evidence for that.
Bring up the definition of the scientific method.
Sure. I do like the one from Berkeley. So I will use that one. That's a good one. So let's see here. So here we have how science works. Scientific method, one serving right here. It says, I'm going to have to share this with you. You won't see it. Hold on a second. All right, here you go. You see that now? How science works.
Yes.
From Berkeley, a reputable place. This is a scientific, a list of scientific, like Science 101, written to a college level. So the simplified linear scientific method implies that scientific studies follow an unvarying linear recipe. But in reality, in their work, scientists engage in many different activities in many different sequences. Scientific investigations often involve repeating the same steps many times to account for new information and ideas. In reality, science depends on interactions
Why have you skipped that one important line right above it? The simplified linear scientific method implies that science is done by individual scientists working through
these steps in
isolation.
What they're doing is they're using
your independent variable.
Hold on.
Your dependent variable.
Just a second.
And your controlled variable.
You totally missed the context of what they're doing here. That statement is the wrong statement, and then they say, but in reality,
the scientific method.
No, I'm sorry. This is from Berkeley.
Yes,
they're saying this
you have to first observe a phenomenon.
All right, hold on a second. You're not getting it here. This is Berkeley, so I'm not going to take your claims that are not backed up by something. Okay, so in science, we look to other people who have done things and other people that and how they do science, right? So your claim about how things must work in science is not backed up by anything because you haven't given me any links to any reputable places. We are going through. Hold on. We are.
Hang on.
You asked me to bring up the definition of the scientific method, which I have right here. Okay, so here's they're contrasting these statements. They say the simplified version. No. In reality, science depends on interactions within the scientific community. Different parts of the process of science may be carried out by different people at different times. Here's another one. The simplified linear scientific method implies that science has little room for creativity, but in reality, the process is exciting, dynamic, and unpredictable. Science relies on creative people thinking outside the box. So if you're going to put science in a box and say it must only do it this way, right? Then I will expect you to find a reputable scientific source saying this is the only way that science can be done. Okay, and if you don't have that other than just your claims, they will be ignored.
Now will you please show that photo that I've just posted you on Discord? And then argue with NASA. Because that's from NASA.
Okay, please cite give me the link to that site. I'll go to that site then.
Phase of Matter, Glenn Research Center.
Please give me the citation to that actual link. Okay? And we're talking
Glenn
about
Research Center. Glenn Research Center, Phase of Matter.
Yeah, go ahead and send me the link to it. I'll pull it up on their website. And we're talking about the scientific method and how it works at this point. So this particular image right here isn't actually stating anything about how the scientific method specifically works. So I'm waiting for you to provide the link to that website, maybe, or to a link to some other reputable source that speaks of science in the way that you are making claims that it must work. Because I'm not going to take your claims without any backing support from a reputable source saying only this is the scientific method. Okay. Now I have heard it from other flat earthers, and they have invented this, which I completely reject. So unless you have a reputable source,
no, it's because I've copyrighted my fucking scientific work.
I'm sorry. Please don't. You don't need to cuss on here, dude. So I'm waiting for the actual evidence and the support for how science works. Do you have anything? Anything at all? No? All right. So I will send you that link to how science works.
Hang on.
Oh, your silence told me that you were doing nothing. So.
Hang on, I'm sending you the page.
Okay.
There you go, the page has come through. That's from NASA. It's on their website.
Okay. And how does this tell us how the scientific method works?
NASA.gov. I'm not dealing with the scientific method right now.
Clearly, you're not dealing with the scientific method. I want you to show that so
I can get around this gas pressure. Because
okay, hold on a
you're obfuscating the point that I've put out.
No. Here's the deal. You made claims
You're
about...
trying to argue the scientific method and then trying to determine your own scientific method to get as a workaround for this, and it's not a workaround.
We're going to stick on topic here until we've resolved it, okay? So, you made claims that the scientific method only allows things to examine the cause and effect, and if it's not, it's pseudoscience. Please cite your source on that. I'm not changing the subject.
No, I'll go one better. I'll give you the scientific method for a container.
I'm sorry.
Like
I'm sorry. I'm waiting for you to support...
Natural observed phenomena?
I'm sorry. I'm waiting for you to support your claim that the scientific method can only observe the cause and effect and everything else is pseudoscience. Do you have any support for that?
Yes.
Do you have any support for that?
If you give me a minute, I'll find some.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll find it. There'll be lots of finding there. Go, bring it on. So while he is not finding anything, I will go here to the real process of science. Now, Adobe Flash. This site has been around for quite a while. Their stuff is in Adobe Flash, but they do have a they have a non-Flash version of it here. Let's see. Here you go. It's pretty cool. Exploration and discovery, making observations, asking questions, sharing data and ideas, finding inspiration, and exploring the literature. That's something that's pretty interesting. Exploring existing literature on a topic. Gather data, interpret data. What you're going to do is create a hypothesis. Let's see here. And another thing is you're going to communicate that to, to the scientific community as a whole. That's done often in journals, but you can do it in other ways as well. So, all right. So, the 7 steps to the scientific method. Why don't you just give me the link there instead of taking a screenshot?
I can't link it.
You can't link it.
I can't link it.
Why can't you link it?
When I click on Google and put in scientific method at the top, this is what it brings up. And then it says, people also ask these questions on the next bit, and it's the thing in the the people also ask box.
All right. Well, I will pull them up. Here I have your images.
It says on there as well, what is the scientific method for kids? Gives a description for kids as well.
Yes, exactly.
Ask a question, gather information, and observe research. Make a hypothesis, guess the answer. Experiment and test your hypothesis. Analyze your test results and present a conclusion.
There you go. Yeah, that's a nice simplified model, as Berkeley stated there. Let's see here. We've got a standardized way of making observations.
Francis Bacon. Yeah. Francis Bacon was the person that made the scientific method.
And is it not allowed to change then? Is it forever frozen in history in stone? Is that right?
The scientific method's been set, yes.
It's yeah.
It's
of course
only
it's not.
Interested,
it's not.
It is only interested in the cause of an effect.
Okay, where does it say that? These three things that you cited never stated it's only interested in a cause of an effect. So please find your citation for that. And if you're just going to go to Google, then clearly you didn't actually read that anywhere. You're just quoting it from Sleeping Warrior.
No, I can't remember what site I took it from last time I looked.
Yeah, it's only interested in the cause of effect, and everything else is pseudoscience. So please share that citation.
Is there only one scientific method?
Yeah, that's a good question. Is there one?
There is only one scientific method.
Really?
No. Is there only one scientific method? No, there are several versions of the scientific method.
There you go.
However, they all begin with the identification of a problem or a question to be answered based on observation of the world around us and providing an organized method for conducting and analyzing an experiment. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied there.
Okay. All right. So, where in that was it? You only are allowed to look at the cause and effect of whatever you were saying. Nowhere yet.
That is the definition of the scientific method.
Well, it is a definition. See, it's not a religious document. It's not forever frozen and passed down from on high and can never be changed. That's not how it works, actually. So, as here in Berkeley talks about, that is too simplistic to reduce it to a simple formula like that. Okay. So now, when teaching it to middle school kids, maybe high school kids, you're going to give a slightly different version of it because you're not looking for them to be writing papers and doing actual real research on new topics and new unexplored things before, right? You say, all right, in this class, here's how you're going to do it, right? So when you see something like on yours there that says, what is the scientific method for kids? Or at the bottom of, was it this other one? Yeah, that's the one. The scientific method for kids, right? We're not giving them the college level version of the scientific method like here in Berkeley, because they're not actually writing research papers and submitting them to journals, are they?
No.
Okay. So now I'm still waiting for your super narrow version of the scientific method.
I'm looking through Chem library text to try and find it. Hang on.
Okay.
I've been through so many pages on there.
Yes. Bake until thoroughly cooked, garnish with additional observations. Too simple. So all right, it seems you don't have a citation. You have just made this up. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to go with your version of the scientific method. Instead, we're going to go with what what's found on reputable places like Berkeley. Maybe you want to find something on Stanford or Harvard or MIT. Those are good places to go.
Right.
Definitely not a good place to go would be Sleeping
To
Warrior.
understand the limitations in the scientific method, one must first be familiar with the scientific method and its components. Many people question whether pseudoscience should even contain the word science. A pseudoscience isn't really even an imitation of science.
Exactly.
It's pretty much disregards the scientific method altogether, which you are doing, also known as alternative or fringe science. Pseudoscience relies on invalid arguments called sophism, and Word Webster Dictionary defines as an argument apparent.
Okay, so the scientific method. Oh, look at this! Haha, we got some super see-through pieces here. All right, so you still haven't found where it says that if you're not looking for cause and effect.
I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, it seems like this is a cornerstone of your entire belief system. And you don't even have the reference to it handy. That's kind of lame.
I've been busy. I've been doing things.
Well, I would have it like handy all the time. So,
why?
Let's see here. The three-sided swap. Is that a Wizzy? Wait, no, who would Reach 3D printers? Is that a technique? I'm not good on techniques. I just do the basic version when I'm solving the cube here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's a green screen behind me, not a blue screen. So, got to get the. There we go.
Can't find it.
I know you can't find it. No wonder.
No, I've got it on my phone somewhere. I can't find it.
There we go. And then here we go. Ready? There's that's yellow, and there's green. Huh? Nice. Much of science is very accurate measurements. The speed of light is an excellent example. You don't need cause and effect to measure the speed of light. Exactly, Charlie. So,
yes, you do need cause and effect to measure the speed of light.
No, you don't. And again, I'm going to require that you show your citation for that. You seem to really like making claims without supporting evidence. I get it. You're a flat earther. That's kind of your shtick.
Well, if there's no cause of the light travelling, then there's no effect of the light travelling over a distance, is there, you fucking idiot?
Now, what you can do is measure its speed.
Yes, but you have to do that over a set distance.
Sure, and you don't need a cause and effect to measure something's speed.
Well, if there's no light being caused, there's no effect of being observed, is there?
But that's not how it works there. We don't need it.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
You're using pseudoscience and don't understand science.
Yes, exactly. And yet you have not once cited your claims for how science works. It seems that you are just making stuff up.
No, I'm not making stuff up.
Well, then, please, support your claims.
I'm trying to find it in my phone.
Oh, yes, I get it, yes. So, moving on to my 4x4 here, so... Let's see. What you do in the 4x4 is you get the middles first. Oh, I got a message here. Global internet pressure. Ooh. Somebody from work just sent me a thing. Global internet pressure. Oh, it's a map. That's cool. I was hoping it was like a chart over time. All right. You got nothing? Oh, Shields versus Shields has volunteered for the whack-a-mole. So, all right. Okay, this is kind of dragging on here, Victor. Your non-supporting, your non-evidence for how science works is kind of let you down, hasn't it? Hang on. Oh, I'm hanging. I don't know. The audience is getting a little restless. They're gonna, they're out for blood. They've been locked up for a week or two or more. Right, and let's see here. There it is. So I got the centers. I love how some of them are disappear. That's great. So, all right. Isn't the blue affected by the green screen? No, it's not. Here's the blue. So the green screen is green. And the yellow is affected. That's what kind of surprised me. This is yellow here. So, all right, Victor, how you doing? You gonna find anything? I mean, we could have like the music from the countdown show. People at home, do that little song, and if you don't know, do that one. Do Jeopardy, just in your head, and we're gonna give you a little bit longer. And if you can't find it, we're gonna just accept that you don't actually have any anything to support your view of how science works. That it's just empty claims. Yes, Extra J is breaking into a stash of pitchforks and torches for you, Victor. He's getting tired. Michael Barrett. Yeah, the yellow is fluorescent, I guess. So maybe that's why. I haven't done a 4x4 for a while. Green, white. You wind up doing a lot of hunting when you're in this part of it. You got to pair up these edges. There we go. Yellow, orange. Oh. Hold on, is asking me what latitude the Arctic Circle is. Yep. Yep. I don't remember. 63? Maybe. So, sorry. Yeah, Victor, they're saying you should have been more prepared.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I've sent you a thing on Discord, though.
I see. According to Webster's, now Webster's isn't Stanford or Berkeley. It's just a layperson's definition for science, but it's pretty good here. According to Webster's, the definition of science is knowledge attained through study or practice, or knowledge covering general truths of the operation of general laws, especially as obtained and tested through scientific method and concerned with the physical world. So, anything here? We got... Yeah, so yes, of course. Another one. This is good. Natural science is the study of the physical world and includes fields such as chemistry, biology, physics, as well as other STEM-related disciplines like technology and mathematics. Natural scientists develop questions and use specific processes of describing, predicting, and observing the natural world. Very good. But we're still waiting for your evidence to suggest that it's super limited and you can only study cause and effect. So far, you're not doing too well because this is talking about much broader things than cause and effect. So you're not really helping your case. But do continue. I don't mind the self-debunk. I think it's one of the best parts of dealing with you guys. like Bob Nodell did, and then denied it, making himself a fool. So, all right, I'm almost done with the edges here, people. Oh, yeah, people are not holding their breath for flat Earth evidence. Yeah, thanks, Bob. 15 Degree Bob. Let's see. Yellow, orange. It's a little dark in here, so I gotta focus a little more. Plus, I'm colorblind, but I do get these because they're easier for me to see than some other colors.
The last one of those two.
The last one of those two. Let's see. All right, cause and effect are important concepts in both science and engineering, as science seeks to create explanations and engineering seeks to reach design solutions. In some cases, cause and effect are straightforward. In other cases, cause and effect relationships are more complex and less apparent. Okay, so I'm waiting for you to still show how somebody from a reputable source says science is only studying the cause and effect and everything else is pseudoscience. Anything? Nothing? Nothing at
Science
all.
only cares about the cause of an effect.
I'm waiting for...
That is how science works.
That's your claim, but this particular thing isn't saying that it only... It says they are important concepts. So I need you to support that they are only allowed and everything else is pseudoscience. Do you have a citation for that? That should be pretty simple to find. It should be something that Berkeley says, because if that's the case, Berkeley should certainly say it, but they don't say that. I've read this site in its entirety. It doesn't say only cause and effect is allowed and everything else is pseudoscience. Nowhere does it say that. So, are you going to support that claim, or should we just move on and understanding that your narrow definition of science is wrong?
You do not show the cause of an effect, it is not science. It is then wrong. If it doesn't show the effect, it is wrong.
I'm still waiting for you to...
There is no two ways about it, mate. That is how science works.
I'm still waiting for you to
Live in your
support
little
that.
fucking dream world.
I'm still waiting for you to support that claim. Cause and effect. Oh, cause and effect. Cause and effect is the backbone of the scientific method. It drives everything from our hypothesis to our conclusions. In an experiment, the job of the scientific method is to tell us if a cause produces an observed effect. Nice.
Now shut up.
From schmoop.com, people. Schmoop.com. Let's go to schmoop.com and see what they have there here. Right? Who is schmoop.com? Are they like a university? Oh, look, it's a K through 12.
Physics.
It's a K through 12 site. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. So, all right. So you have a less than college level thing here at schmoop.com. Excellent. Saying some...
I'll find another one in a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, all right. No,
There's
here's what we're going to do. We're going to move on.
There's more results. Give me a second.
No, I'm tired of
yes,
of
there's
your...
one from Harvard here.
Oh, Harvard, right. I'm sure they're going to say only and everything else is pseudoscience. Is it going to say pseudoscience in there? Bets, live chat, bets on whether or not it's going to say everything that's not cause and effect is pseudoscience. Stringer News 1. What's our vector, Victor?
If I give you my vector, you'll get bombed.
Oh, now I don't know if you notice this here, but I am with the Earth shape. I'm an Earth shape field agent, so I might send in the black helicopters to get you, man. We know where you live. We'll get you. I'm in the...
You don't get me for shit.
I'm in the NASA headquarters here. We're gonna send the black helicopters.
Send them.
Yep.
I don't give a shit.
Yep. Subject to this home. Absolutely. Yep. Send in the helicopters. All right. Check. Out. Sorry, I forgot.
Scientific
forgot to
method
turn off
for a
the.
natural container. Independent variable
No.
is size of container.
I'm still. You
Dependent
said
variable
Harvard.
is shape of container.
Where's your
Control
Harvard thing?
variable is
Hold
volume
on.
of container.
Where's your
natural containers?
Yes,
right?
you're rambling on. I'm waiting
hypothesis.
for you to bring the evidence from Harvard, please. Anything.
Why?
Anything from Harvard. You said you had something from Harvard that was going to tell us.
I've just given you one.
From schmoop.com. Yes, a thing for high schoolers. Got it. So, anything actually...
so it beats your education, doesn't it?
I don't think so. But,
Well, I think it
do go ahead and believe that. So,
so it states there it's only concerned of cause and effect.
yeah, and then everything else is pseudoscience, as you say. Please show your claim that everything else is pseudoscience. Anything? Nothing? All right, so we're going to stick with Berkeley right here, and I'll put it right up in the chat again, Berkeley. So this is our foundation for how science works, right? So, do you have evidence to support your idea of flat Earth? Please feel free to present your evidence. Anything? I know you're still there. I can hear you.
Hang on. I'm just trying to take something to show you.
Take something to show me.
It's really hard doing this because I haven't got these to hand like straight away. I'm having to fucking add them one by one. Because you've taken me off topic of questions that I wanted to go on. I wanted to talk to you about the vacuum of space that you think you're in when a pressure of gas needs a container to contain it.
Okay, so a Wikipedia site that is not saying that cause and effect is the only allowed science and everything else is pseudoscience. Anything else? Can we move on? Because so far your claims about how science...
only concerned about the cause of an effect.
Yeah, that's... I don't care.
If it doesn't cause the effect, it's not the effect or the cause of the effect, is it? So it doesn't matter.
But you claim...
It's not fucking unicorns, is it?
Yeah.
You fucking dickhead.
Yeah, so you claimed that science absolutely only allows cause and effect explorations and nothing else.
That's why you're not a scientist, because you're trying to fucking invoke whatever you feel like.
I'm not. In fact, I am going off of berkeley.edu right here. So, and you're going off of
Cause and effect.
schmoopsypoo.com or something. So I think what has happened is Nathan Oakley has damaged your brain more than it already was by lying to you about how science works.
Fucktard.
So you don't have. So you're insulting me, and in fact,
you're insulting me, saying I've got brain damage. You stupid motherfucker.
I didn't say that at all. So
you did. You just said fucking Nathan Oakley's giving me brain damage. You stupid motherfucker.
I said he's damaged your brain.
No, he hasn't.
Right. So, the 10 Commandments of Logic. Thou shalt not attack a person's character, but the argument. So, what is your actual argument? Your argument is that science only allows cause and effect.
My argument is that you need a container to stop your gas pressure leaving this environment.
Okay. So, now we're going to stick with the Berkeley definition for science. I'm not going to go with yours.
That's why I asked you to define your spaceball model.
All right. So...
And then you're obfuscating. Pure obfuscation ever since, mate.
So here's how the universe actually works. The Earth is rotating around the sun, and it is inside the pressurized system that is the universe. It's a very low pressure, but it is a pressurized system. All right. So what is your
not according to your model? Your model says it's a vacuum.
I'm sorry. Are you strawmanning my model? My model has a pressurized system.
No, I'm telling you what NASA state on their fucking sites.
Really?
They say it is a vacuum.
And please define a vacuum then.
A friction-free environment as well.
Please define a vacuum.
Of zero gravity, zero G environment.
Whoa. A vacuum is zero gravity?
No, they claim space is zero G environment. That's why they reckon they float round in their little capsules.
I think you're a little confused about that.
No, I'm not confused.
Let's go back to. I said that Earth is in a pressurized system. It's a very low pressure. So, what is the?
Yes, 10 to the minus 17 torque.
Yes, that's a pressurized system.
A positive figure.
That's a pressurized system, right? It is a non-zero pressure, correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So please continue presenting your evidence for flat Earth.
Right. Well, if NASA's facility needs an 8-foot thick concrete wall and a foot thick aluminium fucking liner, and 5,000 ton doors to stop the air from seeping into their vacuum chamber, when they can only get down to 10 to the negative 8 torque.
That's that particular one is 10 to the negative 6.
Oh, 6 torque then.
Yep. So now you think that is the minimum.
Which at that pressure, the oxygen or the atmosphere pressing on it starts to seep through the concrete walls and the aluminium.
Sure. Now,
how does that stop that from reverse pressure leaving a thin aluminium walled
do you see this?
Floating around in a vacuum?
Do you see this?
A light bulb.
This is not a light bulb. This I got out of a 1969 organ, the same organ that Led Zeppelin used on their first 2 albums. It's a vacuum tube.
Yeah, a vacuum tube.
Do you know what the pressure is inside here?
Not very high.
10
low.
to the negative 6. Right here.
Yes, which is less than a NASA facility.
This is the same as the NASA facility, in fact. So, turns out you don't need concrete and aluminum to hold that 10 to the negative 6. Isn't that amazing? This little thin layer of glass is all you need. All right, so now we've established that you don't need that concrete and that there's something else that maybe you don't understand.
Because the pressure over the area.
Oh, pressure over area. Very good. All right, so why don't you show us some math on that?
Why do I need to show you the maths on that?
Well, you're making claims, so go ahead.
I wasn't making a claim. I was stating a fact.
Really?
Yes.
Right, but
Why do you think when they vacuum? Why do you think when they vacuum suck fucking big? Well, for an example, the train that they had on the train tracks that normally carried fucking liquid. They put a vacuum in it, and then it crushed under the atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what's going on here. The opposite.
Yeah, but the forces is still exerting on the walls of the container.
It's the opposite. So for example, this particular...
And it's still a container.
This container is designed...
Show me gas pressure
being
maintained in a vacuum.
Yes,
you can't.
I'll explain this to you here.
Gas will expand in all directions and equalize pressure.
All right,
to the
now,
vacuum.
you were talking
and
about...
then the vacuum's no longer a vacuum. Because
you were talking about... Just a second. Hey, Victor, you were talking about something and you changed the topic. So we're going to go back to that previous topic and we're going to talk about that one. Then we'll move on. Okay, that's how a conversation works. So the pressure in here is designed to hold back the pressure, right? That's its purpose. And so the shape and the engineering of it is designed to have a vacuum on the inside, pressure on the outside. Now, a railroad car is designed to hold liquid. So higher pressure on the inside, lower pressure on the outside. When you reverse it, it fails, right? It wasn't designed to do that. So it's the opposite of what's going on in here. So it's not really a comparison. It's an opposite comparison. That's something we call a straw man. So in space, there is a pressure up
straw man. Yes.
up where the ISS is.
You're just admitting you're a straw manning.
The pressure where the ISS is about the same as the pressure inside this vacuum tube. Right? So, all right, continue with your evidence.
Okay. Natural observed phenomena.
But I'll start with the hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Okay. Hang on. Give me a second to find it. Scientific method hypothesis. And with a natural container, you can have gas, you can have gas pressure, you can have gas pressure gradient, you can have objects. Do you want the null next?
Sure.
The null hypothesis would be with no container, there will be no gas pressure, and no gas pressure gradients, and no objects.
All right, so continue.
The scientific method for a container would be... I'm trying to read this off a big screen. It's not very legible, if you know what I mean. Scientific method for a natural container would be independent variable would be your size of the container. The dependent variable will be the shape of the container, and the control variable will be the volume of the container.
Okay.
And natural observed phenomena of natural containers. Number one is bladder wrack seaweed, which has air sacs on it that fill with CO2 and CO, and they become like neutral buoyant, so they become basically they equilibrate with the air or the water surrounding them. Number two would be air bladder of fish, which is also a natural container of gas. Third one, natural observed phenomena, is animal's lung, because it breathes with it. And these aren't human or man-made, they're all natural observed phenomenon. And the fourth one would be an open container, which is a picture plant, mainly the trap, because it contains liquid and gas.
All right.
It doesn't contain it under any more pressure than atmospheric.
All right, so your hypothesis is confirmed.
Yes.
And the null hypothesis was not invoked.
No.
All right. So what did we learn from that?
There has to be a containment.
No, we learned that containers can contain things. All right. So now where
needs a container?
No, that was not actually what was confirmed in there. You found a couple examples of gas in containers. You did not in any way.
Do you want the man-made containers that are not scientific, do you?
Well, man-made containers are perfectly scientific as well. As in your, let's see.
Following the scientific method, they are not scientific. They're man-made containers, right? Hairspray, spray paint, air bottle, fire extinguisher, oxygen bottle, bucket, open-ended pipe/tube, vacuum chamber, vessel, chamber, jet engine, steam engine, internal combustion engine.
That's enough. You don't need to give us an exhaustive list. Are you Forrest Gump? Are you going to go over the list of types of shrimp? Or sorry, that was Bubba. What was his name? Bubba, right? So, according to your...
All examples in nature needing a container, right? We'll go with modus tollens.
No, just a second.
Should it really be as and not if? If all examples in nature of gas needing containers, P, then no containers, Q, no gas. If P, therefore Q. If not Q, therefore not P.
All right, so you went
over... I can read it
over...
out a second way if you would like as well.
Hold on, I have a question then.
If all examples in nature of gas needing a container, P, then no container, Q, no gas. If P, therefore Q. If not Q, therefore not P. Modus tollens.
In fact, what you have done there is...
I'm going to say to you, Occam's razor
hold on.
and Hitchens' razor.
Yeah. So here's the deal. You cited some examples. You did not cite an exhaustive list of examples. And of course...
I could keep going if you really wanted me
well,
to,
no,
but I'd end up getting out of breath saying.
That would be quite boring. So that is the point of it is, here's what you've done. It's not modus tollens. It's modus ponens.
It's modus tollens.
It's modus. Yeah. So here's what you've done. You've said, I found some examples of containers. Therefore, all gas must have a container. You've done the opposite. That's called affirming the consequent.
I've asked you to prove me gas pressure being maintained in a vacuum without a container, vacuum chamber, vessel, chamber, membrane,
but again,
barrier,
that's
in a natural environment.
Yes, but you see, that's a straw man, because
no, it's not a straw man.
I don't claim.
This is logical consistency, motherfucker.
I don't.
And it's checkmate too.
I don't claim that the Earth is in a vacuum.
Scientific method. I've given you the full scientific method there.
Yes,
you can't argue with it. Good. Take it to a scientist and show them it.
That's nice. So here's what you've not done. Here's what you've
want to listen to me, so I'm leaving. All right.
You've shown me that you can straw man.
I've given you the full scientific method.
You have straw man.
There's no straw man there.
Because I don't claim that the Earth.
Mate.
I have not claimed that the Earth.
Debunk it.
Please stop interrupting me, little boy. I have not.
I'm not a little boy, motherfucker.
I have not claimed that the Earth is in a perfect vacuum. I've claimed that the Earth is in a pressurized system. Okay, so then you went on to claim that the Earth is in a vacuum. All right, so now here's what you need to do. You need to show how it's impossible for the Earth to be in a pressurized system.
No, I don't have to do anything.
I know you don't have to do anything. We'll just laugh at you for not doing anything, for making lots of claims that didn't work. Right. So
you're the one claiming you're living on a space ball. You're the one with the proof of burden, mate.
A burden of evidence. Yes, and of course you have the same.
Burden of proof, mate.
Yeah, you have the same because you have a claim that it's flat.
You have to prove gas being maintained without a container.
And I can certainly show that. Of course, I can't prove that because science does not prove things.
You can't show that.
I certainly can. Look at this right here.
You can't.
All right. So this is from Dwayne Kellum. This is a balloon that he sent up. Now, Dwayne isn't a flat earther. And we see here on the right side here, barometric pressure in inches of mercury, which is very much an American unit, 29.88 inches of mercury.
So you're using a container to try and disprove no container.
Where's the container? This is just a barometer measuring...
Balloon.
No, it's not. It's not measuring the inside of the balloon. This is a barometer on the outside of the balloon.
You're sending the balloon up.
Yes, exactly. So here we have a balloon.
So prove there's no container up there.
It shows that there's no container. Yes. So
how does it show there's no container? You're only going up to 120,000 feet
I'm
minimum.
Explaining.
Well, max. Rather.
I'm explaining things. So this is where you listen. Okay. So 29.88 inches of mercury at ground level here, and he goes up. Here goes at 87,000 feet, 0.64 inches of mercury. Now, I'll put the video. I'll send you the video in here, and you can review the video later.
And also, you've got another problem with.
All right, I've muted you again because I wasn't done. I will let you, at your own leisure, look at the video, right, and confirm. And everybody else can do this as well, that there are no membranes or containers that it goes through from ground level up to the highest level. So let's pop up here, 110. So let's see. All right, let's see here. Now, you're still muted. All right. Now when you're muted, nobody can hear you but yourself. Okay. Are you ready to be unmuted so that you can state your claims here now? All right, here we go. Now, go ahead and show where was the container.
The mercury is being contained.
There's not actually mercury there. It's not an actual mercury barometer.
So what sort of barometer is it?
It looks like it's an electronic barometer.
So is it taking into account temperature differences and
barometers
traction?
Do not, but there is a temperature gauge as well.
And it's reading outside -36.
That's right, it is.
At what altitude?
At 120,000 feet. We can back up here. Let's find here. Pop back to...
Because on one of the rockets launched by Elon Musk, it was reading at something like 100, well, I think it was up to like 140,000 feet. That was reading at like minus 400 and something Celsius.
Well, if you have that video, then please bring it. But here we go. At 59,000 feet, the temperature is 52 degrees below zero.
And what pressure and what temperature do gases liquefy?
I don't know how that's relevant here. Is that relevant? Could you show how that's relevant? This is kind of off topic.
Well, if it liquefied, it would cause containment.
It doesn't liquefy at 52 degrees below zero.
No. But
okay,
when
good.
It gets up,
so,
what is the temperature it will liquefy at?
So, I don't know. It's much lower than that. So, the barometer is 2.4 inches of mercury, and the temperature is 52 below zero. Now, if we move up to 113,000 feet, the barometer is 0.2. The temperature is 36 below zero. It warmed up, and the pressure went down. So are you going to make a claim that pressure and temperature are happening here? Are you claiming that the temperature is causing the pressure difference?
How do you know that the sunlight's not just hitting the detector?
Because it's in the darkness.
The sun's now coming up over the horizon in that.
No, it's not shining on it yet. Dude, you want some straws? Because you've run out.
No, I've not.
So, all right, so it's not pressure. In fact, we have in the chat right now some Canadians. Canadians in the chat that live, let's see, hold on a second. Somebody. Canadians that are in the chat, has it ever been 36 degrees below zero Fahrenheit in Winnipeg? And still at normal pressure, because I think Victor's trying to claim that pressure and that the pressure is being dropped because of temperature, and we can see here that a 0.2 inches of mercury, which would suffocate anybody in a short amount of time, and negative 36 degrees. So if it's ever been 36 degrees below zero in Winnipeg in the winter, like this last year, for example, when it was, you'll have to convert to Celsius. Was the pressure also 0.2 inches of mercury, or was it normal pressure? So, Victor, what is causing that temperature, that pressure differential? Got anything? Anything at all?
Burden of proof's not mine.
Well, burden of proof is all right. Well, yes, and
you're the one presenting. It's your burden of proof, mate.
Oh, Matt Duckworth had to leave. It was
you're the
too
one
much.
Trying to present evidence.
So
prove
here we go.
The non-containment.
Okay, so yeah. Well, I did just here. This video shows that it went from a pressure of 29 inches of mercury to 0.2 inches of mercury. A massive difference in pressure, 100x. Pressure difference with no barriers at all. Nothing. How did that happen? Amazing. So could you explain what causes that pressure differential? Because I have an explanation for it that works very well and is predictable. Do you have an explanation? No. Didn't think so. Thank you for at least admitting that. So Maybe there is something pulling it down. Maybe some acceleration that's pulling down on the gases, and near the surface, it's pulling down. Right, the gases above it are all piled up and pushing down on the gases at the surface, and up higher, there's less gases pushing down on it. That makes sense. I've not heard any other.
Gas is unbonded.
What's that?
Gas is unbonded.
Exactly, and that's why it works that way.
There's no intermolecular bonds for gas to
Yeah,
hold
exactly,
itself together.
and that's why it works like that.
Which is why it needs a container.
But you haven't.
If not, it would.
But
If
I
not,
just showed
gas
that
would
there
just
wasn't a
disperse off
container.
into space.
But you see here.
Fill the lower pressure environment.
But here's the deal. Why didn't it? You talked about pressure equalizing inside inside a container. Why didn't it equalize? Why is it 29 inches of mercury at ground level and 0.2 inches of mercury at 113,000 feet? Why is that?
I don't know. I can't get there to test it, can I?
Oh, that's not. You don't need to go there to test it. You can send an instrument there to test it, like Dwayne Kellum did, right there, where we get to see.
If it is not tangible, you cannot test it.
Oh, that's
falls
cute.
outside of science.
That's cute. That's wrong, but that's cute.
No, it's not wrong.
Natural science is a study of the physical world that includes fields such as chemistry, biology, physics. Right? It's a study of the natural world, which is the physical world. Right? Everything physical is natural. Everything natural is physical. When science says that it does not study, when it specifically only studies the natural world, what it means is it doesn't study the supernatural. It's not a religious thing. So you can send an instrument to measure pressure. That's part of science. So, you don't have an explanation. I do appreciate that you don't have an explanation. So thank you for that. Now, do you have any other evidence for flat Earth? So maybe some positive evidence, some measurement of flatness, or something that actually supports your claim. Anything? Anything.
Parallel and plum.
Parallel and plum. I'm not much of a fan of plums. My grandpa did make plums. I had some apple trees and some plum trees. I didn't like them. And so.
Well, what about natural water levels and how to level using water level?
Oh, you gonna go like Flat Ferdinand? That was funny. So, yeah. What do you got there? What evidence and measurements do you have?
Well, the fact that they use a water level.
Okay.
And the fact you use a level in building.
Okay. What does that? I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that?
Level, no deviation from fucking plane, basically.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Could you maybe try to make sense more? So I have here. Tell you what, I have here from 1814. Let's see, the theory and practice of surveying, containing all the instructions requisite for the skillful practice of the art. Right? It's a book from 1814. It's actually published in the late 1700s. This is the 1814 version. The true level is a curve conforming to the surface of the earth as A, B, G. So if you look at this little diagram here, A on the very top, B on the right, and G on the bottom right there. That is the definition for the word level. So if you're going to make claims about level, then I'm perfectly happy to entertain.
Now please put this up on your screen right now. Display this.
The one that you sent a little bit ago? Oh, there.
Then read it out to me.
Oh, that's cute. No, I'm not going to cherry pick a definition. Well, I will, just so we can laugh at you, I guess. Because I have, if you're going to just go on cherry picking definitions, right? Here's yours. Level a horizontal plane or line with respect to the distance above or below a given point. Doesn't say anything about being synonymous with flat as a noun, right? As an adjective, people use it as that. But
read the objective.
Here's what I have. I have over 40.
Read the objective. It says having a flat horizontal surface.
Yeah, it's an adjective, not
we
objective.
Have reached level ground.
Can you say adjective? All right,
adjective.
So there you go.
Say it.
So I have on my website here, and I will send it to you from Cosmonaut. Thank you very much, Cosmonaut. 40, I think it's 45 different definitions of level. Every one of them you can click on and see the larger version of it. Every one of them talks about level being a curved surface. Every one of them. trigonometric leveling. Observing the zenith angle and slope distance between 2 points, difference in elevation can be calculated within the limits of ordinary practice. Triangle BEC can be assumed to be a right triangle. And
right, now do you want to display this?
You should paste it first.
It's downloading. Sorry. Should have loaded to you now.
Let's see. I accidentally gave it an emoji response there while I was trying to grab it.
Pig.
Yep, little pig. Okay. So there you go. Yes, you have. Is this a picture that you took?
No.
Okay.
That is in a Ladybird book, and it's probably copyright. So.
Ladybird.
Yes, for kids.
A children's book?
Yes, for kids learning.
Very nice, a children's book. So let me see here.
And then hang on, I'll show you something else, which is in a knowledge book. This is for enjoy of knowledge. Hang on.
Well, we'll talk about this one here. So the height of land in feet. Yes, so you have sea level. So, yeah, what this children's book is talking about is elevation above sea level, and as we've previously determined,
what is depicting is how to map read.
Yeah, the children's book
is one of the pictures given to you in map reading. That is the Ladybird book on map reading.
Is there a different name for map reading than just map reading?
Well, that's what it gives you in the Ladybird of map reading.
Yeah, is there a different name for map reading? Something that you would have used if you had been in the military.
OS maps.
OS maps?
Cartographer?
No.
Cartographers make maps?
No. When you were... If somebody had ever been in the military, when they were learning how to use maps, there's a name for what it is when they go to study how to use a map. What's that called? So they can use a map and a compass to find their way.
What, navigation?
No, there's a different word for it. I got a compass here while you're thinking of it.
Yeah, I've got my navigation badge.
Ah, there we go. Here's my compass. So what's it called when you use a compass and a map to find your way? Anybody in the chat, go ahead and put it in there as well. There you go. Manobrat-Set's got it. So if anybody had been in the military, anybody who was in the military would probably know this word, because I think that's what they use in the military. Yeah, Craven Mordek's got it. CPI, USMC retired. Corporal, U.S. Marine Corps retired. Hey, Corporal, U.S. Marine Corps retired. What did you call it when you studied in the Marine Corps? Was it map reading, or did you use a different word for it? Gary IOW's got it right.
I use map reading and navigation.
Yeah, is that the term that they use in the military? And what was your rank in the military? What was your rank? Have you muted yourself?
No.
Just curious about your rank in the military.
I'm not disclosing it.
Is your rank a super secret thing that you can't?
I'm not disclosing any information that.
Oh. All right. So, why would rank be something to not disclose? I don't understand. I would certainly, if you might want to, people might want to not share what they did or their, super secret information. But but man, your rank, right? Name, rank, and serial number, right? We know your name.
It's navigation, no more.
Don't need it's color orienteering. If you'd been in the military, I think you'd know that. So, all right. So this children's book shows sea level, which we've already determined is a curve. And so it shows the elevation above sea level. Okay, so do you have evidence? Do you have evidence of flatness now?
Did you not get that other picture I sent through?
I'll grab the other one here. Again, it's going to show us elevation above sea level, right? And we've already determined that sea level is a curve conforming to the surface of the Earth. So,
it's not a curve.
Well, okay, so do you have evidence that is not a curve? Or just empty claims? Because, I mean, empty claims is kind of the flat Earth thing. It's, like I said, it's your shtick.
You're taking me well off topic from what I'm trying to. What I was trying to do.
So a question from the audience, from Extra J. Can you tell me the difference? Now, I've not done military orienteering. I've done it in a non-military way. Can you tell me the difference between magnetic north and grid north, and how to tell what the declination is? How do you tell the declination when you're looking at a map? What's the difference?
You got that one?
What's that?
You got that one from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers?
Yeah, we don't pronounce the S usually, but that's fine. Yes, again, this is where's the measurement in here? I don't see any measurements of flatness. So, J.L. Warren, I see, yes. Victor, what's your clozapine dosage? So, all right. And also, J.L. Warren, you're colorblind, but how do you enjoy Swedish fish? I usually enjoy not eating Swedish fish. I do try to avoid eating just too much sugary stuff because it makes me bigger instead of smaller. And I'd rather be smaller. Less exercise is fine to stay smaller. So, okay. So how do you tell the difference between magnetic north and grid north? Victor, question from the audience on that. Any
5 degrees, isn't it?
What's that?
It's 5 degrees difference, isn't it?
5 degrees difference.
Yes, something like that.
It's always 5 degrees.
This is going back to when I was a little fucking kid, man. This is like when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I did this.
You were in the military when you were 7 years old?
No. This is when I was in Cubs.
Cubs.
Yeah.
Cubs. So you didn't do orienteering in the military? You did no orienteering? Now, I don't know. I've not been in the military, so I don't know if everybody goes through orienteering.
No, I knew how to map read, so I didn't need to do anything like that.
Well, yeah. You couldn't use a compass and a map to get anywhere if you didn't know how to deal with declination. Right? Now, in Minnesota, you could, because the declination is the line of zero declination goes through Minnesota. But do you know where the declination is on a map?
Normally, it shows you on the maps.
And and how's that work?
Line the compass up with north to the top of the map normally.
That's it. You just north is north, grid north, and magnetic north is the same. Is that right? Is that what you think?
No, grid north is like 5 degrees from the magnetic north. Or is that true north? There's three different northern points. You can go with the northern star, the magnetic north, or the 5 degrees from magnetic.
Really? Yeah. Dude, you're not doing yourself any help here. Because it's not always 5 degrees. Are you seriously going with that?
Well, I was just taught to follow magnetic north, so
yeah. Yeah, that
It's
works.
hard to do when you get near the north because the compass just starts fucking spinning round.
No, it doesn't.
Fucking do.
What happens when you get too far north is the needle gets pinned and it stops spinning. Actually, it has the opposite effect when you get too far north because the magnetic inclination is too steep. Do you know what magnetic inclination is? Any idea what inclination is? Do you know what magnetic? I don't know. Can you? You're not answering. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
No, I haven't heard of the term.
You haven't heard of the term. Okay, so here is a magnet inside. Oh, you can't see me. I've got to stop presenting. I got a magnet inside a sphere. Right here. You see that? There's the north end, the south end, and there's a bar magnet in the middle. Okay? Here's my compass. Right here. So,
Yeah.
I put this on here. North points north, south points south. Yeah, are you watching?
All right.
So here's how you here's inclination.
I'm trying to find my flight compass to show you a proper fucking flight compass.
When we go this way, you see that? That angle there is the inclination. It's a little difficult to see. There you go.
But that isn't how you use the normal compass, is it, mate?
No, I'm showing you how inclination works. So, at the the magnetic north pole,
It doesn't do that.
declination is 90 degrees, and what that'll do is that'll cause it to pin on the bottom of the chamber there, so it can't spin. So it does the opposite of what you said it would. It doesn't spin freely. It doesn't spin. So.
I can't find my little ball flight compass. It's a little ball like that with a compass inside it, and it's got the horizontal flight level.
Yeah, does it have a do you have a hula hoop lady dancing too? I like those on the dash. So, all right. So you've not yet actually shown any evidence for flatness.
I don't need to show evidence. I've flown at 55,000 feet in a cockpit of a jumbo jet, seen out the front window, fucking with the controls in my hand. It is flat over a 4,000-mile journey.
Okay, and what's the measurement of that? Yeah, and the significant digits of that measurement.
I don't need to measure it. I witnessed it with my own eyes, man.
Well, in what part of science does it say just looking with your eyes is close enough? Is that really a way? Is that how scientists do things, or is that just it looks flat, therefore it's flat?
It is flat.
It's yeah, that's your claim. So I'm asking for some
observation.
I'm asking for some measurements now of the flatness that you have claimed. Now I could play the same trick. I can say, well, it appears curved to me, therefore it's just an observation, and you have the burden of evidence. But of course, that's not how science works, right? That's not how debate works. You don't just get to say, I get to call it an observation, therefore I don't have to present any supporting evidence for my observations. No, we all need to support our observations. So, what is your observation that has been measured? Any measurements?
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty fucking flat, mate.
And what's the units in that measurement?
Go there and measure it yourself.
So you didn't measure it. Okay, so you have no evidence for that. Do you have any evidence of flatness?
I put a laser beam across it, mate.
Okay. Do you did, or you say that you could?
No, I've laser beamed across it.
You have. Okay, and what were the units of your measurement?
I didn't take measurements. I just put a laser beam across it.
So you didn't measure anything. All right, so you have no measurements. Excellent. That's always the case with flat earthers. No measurements. I understand it's difficult. You have a position that you cannot support with evidence. So Maybe, how about it's
Support with evidence.
yes, you
There's
have
a fucking flat horizon, you fucking dickhead, and flat water all the way up to it.
Really?
Yes.
And what's the precision of that measurement?
Instead of being a twat on a computer, fucking go there and fucking do it yourself, innit?
Well,
And I'm off. You're starting to vex me.
that's fine with me. I don't mind vexing you. I am a wizard. Did you know that?
You're a wizard of fucking shit.
Man, you got a naughty mouth, man. Here we go. MC2.
I'm an adult. It's adult language. Get used to it.
MC2.net/wizardry. So, you have no evidence? All right, that's fine. I didn't expect you to have any evidence because nobody's ever actually brought any evidence of flat Earth. Nobody's ever and had any measurements of flatness.
I just showed you evidence.
Yeah, that's cute. So then, how about let's see. I already showed the pressure dropping as predicted by gravity holding it down, a mass attracting mass, which has been confirmed.
Mass does not attract mass.
Really? Well, do you have supporting evidence to support that claim?
Do you have a pint glass? You're drinking out of a jug.
I've got a quart jar.
Three-quarters fill it.
Yeah.
3/4 fill it with some water. Drop an egg into it, and then start adding salt. And then watch what happens to the egg.
Yeah.
Because you're adding mass, and the egg does not get attracted to the bottom, does it? It starts to float.
So,
due to a pressure differential, due to density and buoyancy.
Density, absolutely. The buoyancy of the water increases. So how do you calculate buoyancy of the egg? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to do that?
Buoyancy is mass over volume.
That's density.
No, density is volume over mass. I know. Oh, I've got it the wrong way around. Yeah, you're right.
All right. So what's buoyancy?
Buoyancy is volume over mass.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
There's a formula for buoyancy. Buoyancy
is volume over mass.
Buoyancy is a force.
Buoyancy is not a force.
It certainly is a force.
Well, in that case, so is density.
Density is not a force. Density is not a force, and buoyancy is.
Yes,
I'm not going to argue this. This is just making you look really, really stupid if you're going to make these claims.
It's not making me look stupid.
Buoyancy. Let me. There you go. Buoyancy. The force due to buoyancy. I'll change this here. Is the density of the fluid times gravity times the volume displaced. So you take the volume of the egg, you take the density of the fluid. Oh, well, then please present the formula and the citation for the formula for buoyancy.
We'll do so. We'll do so. Hang on.
Oh, this is going to be good. Is this going to take a half an hour again? Because you already took a half hour to not support your evidence.
Just give me a second.
Seconds up.
I'll find it. Hang on.
Oh.
I've shown you it before anyway. What's that?
Density is a force, he said. Oh my. All right, well, people, I've got, there's another debate coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. Don't forget about that one. That's with John, it's Jordan Blake, who's in New Zealand. They've been having some storms, so Matt Duckworth might pop in. And with John Puckett, and they're both from Facebook. John Puckett is a flat earther who...
Here you are.
I don't know. John and Victor might really get along.
When you get it up, please display it and then tell me your density, mass, volume again. Because it tells you right underneath it. I've circled it for you, look. The standard unit Standard metric unit for density is grams per cubic centimeter cubed.
Per cubic centimeter cubed.
Not gravity, motherfucker.
Yeah, I said buoyancy, not density. So you just there supported my assertion
and
that
all you have
density
to do is
is not
replace
a force.
density with buoyancy and put volume over mass.
Feel free to provide the formula saying that. Go ahead.
That's all you have to do to work out buoyancy and density.
As you have claimed, but not yet supported with evidence. Please support it with evidence. Oh, dude, you should study a little more. Oh,
I have.
So, are you looking up for buoyancy? Maybe on hyperphysics. Let's see. Anybody like hyperphysics? In the live chat there, it is awesome. I love that site. It's fantastic. So, all right. Well, I found it already for you here. So I'm not making claims that. Oh, I didn't have this on the screen. Here is Victor's supporting evidence that buoyancy is the opposite of density. So anyway, here on hyperphysics, I'll give you the link there. Yes, the Gibbs free energy equation. Yeah, that's not buoyancy. Neither is the wave interference and a picture of buoyancy. Yes, exactly. All right.
But it also shows you big G is not gravity.
All right. So here we go. Buoyant force. Yeah, we can get to that in a second. That'll be great. Buoyant force. You see here where it says
if the little G is grams per centimeter cubed.
No, little G.
And the big G is Gibbs free energy. How can G be gravity? Can't be. I'll see you later.
Oh, dude. Oh, you cannot be serious. We got a rage quit. Oh my gosh. He thinks, oh, I got I knew he was going to do this. It's so funny. Oh, he says, here's the Gibbs free energy equation. And the left side of the equation is replaced by big G, which is known as the Gibbs energy for free energy. And therefore, the big G in this equation, G is already taken. It can't be used in the F equals G M1 M2 over R squared equation because it's already taken in this equation. Apparently you can't use the same variable name twice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say. It's making me cough. Oh my gosh. And oh yes. And I gotta find it. Okay, look at this one here. In this equation, the standard metric unit for density is grams per cubic centimeter. G, little g, over centimeters cubed. So he thinks G, little g, is grams and can only ever be used for grams. Therefore, gravity doesn't exist, and we can't use it in this formula here in the buoyant force. Oh my gosh. Free Foxabillo for 5 pounds. I've not laughed this hard in years. Thank you. Yes. He had sent me that in Discord. And I'm like, oh, I hope he brings it up. because he found this Gibbs free energy equation, which has big G in it. Therefore, you. Oh. All right. My stomach hurts a little from laughing. Yeah, there's only. In fact, we'll run out of letters in the alphabet. Oh my gosh. Oh. He. All right, so let's review here. He first starts by declaring that the scientific method only studies causes and everything else is pseudoscience, and then spent 20 minutes not finding a reference for it. Excellent. Then he created an experiment. Good on him for trying that. To support that. What was it? Oh my gosh, what was he? That containers can hold pressure, and he made a big deal to note that some of these containers were naturally occurring containers, because he thinks that man-made containers somehow are outside of the scope of science. Then therefore, because containers, and he listed off several examples, all of the examples that he cited had containers. Therefore, you must have a physical container, which is of course affirming the consequent, right? This has a container, therefore all things need a container. Oh, General Mayhem. If a girl wears a G-string, not going there. Oh, Reach 3D printers for $5. No message. Thank you very much, Reach 3D printers. This was. I'm serious. This my stomach hurts from laughing. That was good. He hasn't sent me any messages in Discord yet. So let's see. Thanks for the rage quit. So Gibbs free energy equation, the G is used. You can't use that. Then Buoyant Force uses little g, which we've already used in grams, so you can't use that. Amazing. Oh, if I find someone else with the same name, they must be me. That's right. There's apparently there's only one Corporal U.S. Marine Corps retired. Nobody else has ever retired from the Marine Corps that's a corporal. So he has to blow off in steam. Oh, so yeah, he didn't have an explanation for the difference in pressure from ground level to high altitude, and I'm glad he didn't at least didn't go to it's a dynamic environment, which is so funny. So Vic broke tune. That was fun. Well, done a little early, I guess. So that was good. So all right, don't forget tonight, 9:00. I've taken to as much as I can, always planning an alternative, because they don't always show up. So even if John doesn't show up tonight, we do have some stuff planned. I can get him back. He's not responded. So yes, 9 Central Time. That is just over 3 hours from now. So yes, he said he did say what did he say? 9 grams per cubic centimeter cubed. So that was good. 3 hours and 20 minutes exactly. 9:00 Central Time. Yeah, I need a rage quit counter. It's not my thing. I kind of I kind of want to be able to get them to not rage quit when they're super easy to elsewhere. But I mean, I don't care that much. But so that good old 5-dimensional mass, wouldn't it? Per have not rage quit, I'm arguing with zealots. He says. Yeah, that was a rage quit. So, all right. Tommy Grunwald, it'll be 3 a.m. there. Tommy, what else are you doing at 3 a.m.? You're not going to work. I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe you do. I know a lot of people do have to go to work, and I really appreciate the people that cannot work from home and are still going in to do things. I also appreciate the very difficult thing that the people who aren't currently working because of this this virus. It's tough. I got some people that I know that their job ended right away, so they'll go back. But hopefully our economy is good. Yeah, our doctors and nurses, and definitely lots of no respect for the people that are claiming it's a hoax. You guys are sick, and I have no good words for you. I didn't even get to reading this book. It's it's a little hard. It's got a green back. Gravity. Let's see. There you go. Baby Loves Gravity, by Ruth Spiro. Let's see. That works except for the edge there. Baby drops a noodle. Plop. So I'll have to save that for the next one. We'll see you later. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, and no, my dog wants to go out. More important things to do. Awesome. Well, thank you, Victor, for the laugh. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And be safe out there. Be healthy. Keep yourself where you need to be so that you don't get it and don't spread it if you have it. So thanks a lot. And we'll check you out in about 3 hours. Bye.